Hey everybody, it's David and Richard, and we have a special guest here today for our Ask the Lender show. We have Kathryn Vatsula with Loan Depot right here locally in Stockton. And we have some questions today about one of the best loans out there, and that's the VA loan that helps support our veterans and people who've served in our armed forces. So let's get into some of the benefits of the VA loan. I know there's a lot of myths around it.
Yes, I'm here to be an advocate for the loan program and educate other loan officers and realtors and get rid of the myths that are out there. And so the basic part of the VA home loan is for veterans, active duty, or surviving spouses of veterans. And in the surviving spouse case, the spouse had to have passed away from something that transpired from when they were in the service. It wasn't just any surviving spouse. So those are the basic parts of it. Always owner occupied, 100% financing, so there's not a down payment, which is, we'll get into that whole myth thing of not having any money. 30-year fixed, and it doesn't have any private mortgage insurance, which would generally be required on anything over 20% is the general rule.
Yeah, that's
a basic part of it. And so what we try to help agents with is overcoming the obstacles with other agents about why they think VA home loans are so difficult, and they're not. The delinquency rate on a VA home loan is less than conventional loans.
Wow, I didn't know that stat.
I didn't know it either.
So one thing, if I can ask, is when you get an offer on a VA loan, initially you think, oh man, the appraiser is going to be just super picky. Can you talk about the requirements on a VA appraisal?
Yes, absolutely. So the loan itself does require termite report and clearance. That's on the table. But my argument there is generally, you probably want to get one for your client anyway.
Sure.
But sometimes you want to get around that. The appraisers are not VA appraisers, meaning they don't work for the VA. They're your appraiser that is doing your conventional loan and your FHA loan. They just have to take extra certification to become VA certified. And the goal behind the VA appraisal is that the property has to be safe, secure, and sanitary.
Sanitary, yeah. Needs to be clean, people.
Yes, need to be clean. And so the myth is that they're harder, they're going to come in under overvalue. All of those things are absolutely incorrect.
Okay, here's a quick one. What about roof report?
Everybody does ask me that. So the only time, like on any appraisal, FHA, VA, conventional, the only time a roof certification is required is if the appraiser calls for it because there's something noticeable.
Well, just the same as any of them.
Yes.
It's the same as any of them.
Yes, it's not automatic, two-year roof certification. Yeah. So the other benefit about a VA appraisal is what we call Tidewater. And there isn't any other loan program that has this. So when the appraiser is finishing the appraisal and realizes they're not going to come to value, they reach out to the realtor and the loan officer, and you have 48 hours to send them updated comps as to the reason why you think they're going to support the value or the purchase price. And no other program does that. Usually they finish the appraisal and send it in, and then you have to ask for a reconsideration of value.
Have you seen that the appraiser change it?
Yes. Good. Yes, I had a VA renovation in Lodi that actually did up to $50,000. The appraiser would not do the as-is value. We actually went to the Regional Loan Center for VA, and they worked with us and got the appraisal done as we wanted it. And that's the other thing, is we have the capability of working with what we call the Regional Loan Center for VA loans. The myth is on VA loans is your loans don't go to VA. We're the VA lender. We're the VA underwriter. So when others are saying, well, VA says, or the VA office says, they're not saying that because that doesn't happen.
That's you?
Yes, yeah, that's correct.
I thought it did get sent off. Okay.
There's only one time when you have to do that before somebody goes into contract, and that's if you have a veteran and a non-veteran on a loan, which is called a joint loan, which you can do.
Interesting.
Which is what, like the wife?
No, a veteran and spouse is good, but a veteran and a non-veteran.
Oh, okay.
Like, let's say, a veteran and girlfriend.
Gotcha.
So how much longer do these VA loans take?
They take the same amount of time as any conventional or FHA loan. They don't take any longer.
Why is the myth out there that they're going to take longer? Like, we need a 45
I've heard that one too.
escrow.
It's just people being uneducated about the process, and working probably with a lender that maybe doesn't know the program very well.
True. That is true.
You know, some of the nuances of the VA program, which are fantastic, that you may not know about is, you know, the seller can actually pay for the borrower's closing costs to qualify.
Okay.
I mean, that's a seller credit for closing costs. Okay, that's for any loan program. But the seller can actually pay the buyer's debts off in order to qualify. And those are seller concessions versus seller paid closing costs.
I need to meet
Oh
that seller.
man, I need my car paid off.
Well, and in these days where you are getting seller incentives, and as the lender we think, oh my goodness, the debt is too high. We need to be educated enough to know, like, hey, I'm going to use some of that money and pay that debt off, or if they have a judgment that comes up at the last minute.
So does that come through as a form of a credit?
Yes. Yeah.
And then,
just like a,
so, I mean, the buyer's actually going to need, say, $5,000 to pay off their credit card.
yes.
Are they getting $5,000
Yes.
back at close of escrow?
They don't get the money back. It's paid at escrow.
I mean, title pays
Yes,
the bill off.
that is correct. We just submit.
But they're allowed to show that debt being paid off.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
Yes.
cool.
Well, I've learned
I'm out of
about
luck because I didn't serve in the armed forces.
Yeah,
but many people have.
me either, but wow, bring your veterans and give this lady a call. She just gave a lot of great information and 4 or 5 things I didn't know about.
There's a lot of information about it. It's for veterans, active duty, surviving spouse, reservists, National Guard or Air Force.
Cool.
So,
Right on.
Well, a lot of great benefits for the VA program. We've explored many of those today. So if you have any more details or questions about the finer details, you want to reach out to Kathryn here at Loan Depot. Thank you guys for watching this week's episode of our Ask the Lender Show. See you next time.
thank you.